it's me, Courtney, and welcome to my channel. So I have a whole bunch of products, right? And I feel like I've been sort of racking up because there's been so many new releases that I've been interested in. And I've gotten to a point now that I'm like, I can't do a video on each single one. So in this video, I'm basically going to be trying a bunch of different products that I got recently. So this is almost like a haul try on, if that makes sense. That's what we're gonna call it. Yeah. So if you are interested in how to get this look as well as how everything wore, then please stay tuned. Today I'm trying out the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hour. This is their newer one that they came out with. I got the color 510. I think this one is Hazelnut. The one color that they had before this was a little bit too light. I feel like this might be a tad dark. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize too bad. And I was gonna try out their concealers, however all of their concealers look either neutral or a cool tone, and I just wasn't feeling the color selection. I really like the way that my skin looks. Now as far as the feel of it, it's very, very soft, very lightweight. It probably is buildable. It's more of a liquidy texture. It does spread pretty nicely. I mean, maybe because I went in with 2 pumps, it looks a little bit more full coverage, but to me this is pretty good. Let me know if you guys actually want to see a full review of this foundation. This is gonna be kind of like a first impressions. I was gonna go in with the new E.L.F concealer. I got the color Tan Sand. The next shade up from this one was a little bit too deep, and then the other shades are too light. I just feel like I'm happy that E.L.F came out with a bunch of different shades in this concealer, but it's still a little splotchy the way they did, you know, their shade range. This is the only yellow base that I could get for the concealer in this line. So we're gonna try it out. It's a little bit lighter feeling than the Shape Tape concealer actually. So that was my first thing that I was a little bit scared about. It's really, really creamy, but like light. And it has a really full coverage I definitely was not expecting. So the first thing that I'm noticing is that it dries really, really fast. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna take my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I'm just gonna wet my sponge a little bit and see if that can move it around a little bit more. Okay, so that helped it a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna spray again before I go underneath the eye. I do not like this concealer. Alright, so the first thing that I want to mention, it does dry down really, really fast, and once it dries down, it's pretty hard to move, and I made the mistake of doing what I usually do, which is putting my concealer everywhere that I want my concealer to go. And so when I try to blend it out, it kind of sticks a little bit, which I am not a fan of. It almost reminds me of the Beauty Bakery concealer, where you need to move in sections. It's a little bit too hard for me to work with personally, and then it feels like it's sort of sticking in certain areas, like it doesn't really want to blend out, and it's also sort of getting into my fine lines over here. And it kind of in person, I don't know if it's showing up in camera, but in person it's making me look way older. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to reapply my base, and I'm actually gonna take this off because I have places to go today. And yeah, so not so much with this concealer today. So instead of the E.L.F concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away liquid concealer. So this is newer to my collection. I have tried it, I want to say, a few different times. I do absolutely love the consistency. I love how this feels, and it blends like a dream. However, I'm not crazy about the actual applicator. I think this is kind of gross. It's one of those things where concealer gets all over this, and it's one of those things, you guys, I hate clicky products. It gives me anxiety for some reason. While the actual concealer is a good concealer, I don't feel like you get enough of the product, so you end up using more, and then the sponge sucks it up, and it's like a whole thing. And this concealer is on the expensive side, so I don't know. I do like the concealer, but I don't know if I'll repurchase it, just because it's such a hassle almost. Alright, so the powder that I'm going to be trying out today, this is the Coty Airspun powder. I have heard everybody talk about this powder, and I know it's a fairly inexpensive one. When I looked at it, when I first opened it up, I'm looking at it, it's kind of like a pinky beige color. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But I mean, my Peach Perfect powder is a peach color, essentially. So I don't know. We'll see how the color actually works. Yeah, it has a slight like baby powder-esque smell, which I'm not crazy about, but I'm not like completely hating it. It brightened up my under eye. I do think it's very smoothing. I am seeing a little bit of creasing, which this concealer doesn't crease that bad on me, so that's a thing. But I don't know, it still feels like it might give me a cast, but I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup. We'll take a flash test and we'll see. So the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and go in with is bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. They finally, after like 17 years, came out with a deeper color. This is Endless Summer, and I believe they have one other shade deeper than this one, which I did actually buy and try out, and it was just like, there was no way. It wasn't because it wasn't deep enough, it was just the color wasn't going to work to bronze my skin tone. But I am curious to see if it will work to blend other people's skin tone. So I know a lot of people really like swear by this bronzer. To me, it's just okay. I am gonna take a fluffy brush into the bronzer as a base for my eyeshadow and just work that into my crease. I kind of feel like the Coty Airspun powder does have a slight shimmer to it, because I'm looking in like my viewfinder or whatever, and it just looks like I have luminosity under my eyes. It's very weird. I feel like I look very shiny. So Colourpop teamed up with KathleenLights once again to do another collab. They came out with these loose pigments. I didn't get all of them because all of them didn't really call to me. But I got a few colors that I wanted to try out today. So this is the color The Goat. It's like a bronzy gold kind of situation. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and just slightly tap in, and then I'm gonna use my hand as a palette, kind of like I always do. And I just want a little bit of this color on the outer, right here. We're gonna just go for a very shimmery eye look. Next, I went in with the NYX Glitter Glue and tapped it on my lid with a finger. I went in with the Twins on a fluffy brush and packed that softly on my lid, blending the two shimmers together. Then I went back into the bronzer and spread that on my lower lash line. I also went ahead and added a wing. I did use the new mascara from Colourpop, but since I wore falsies, I can't really give a full opinion on it yet. The next newer thing that I'm gonna go into, this is the NudeStix all over blush color. I think this is gonna be the second or third time I've tried this too, and in all honesty, I'm not a huge fan of it. I do like the actual packaging of it. I got the color Sunset Strip. I do like the color and I like the initial application, but it just feels like after a while the blush sort of fades away. But I'm gonna put it on the back of a beauty blender and sort of dab that in. I don't know, I guess we'll just see if this actually lasts today. For highlighter, I'm using the Lorac Glow for Gold. This is definitely a newer one out there, and it's just the prettiest gold shimmer. This has like been the main highlighter that I've been using lately, but look at that. Ooh. I'm gonna take like a little pointed pencil brush and go into that same highlighter and just highlight the inner corner of my eyelid. So now I'm gonna go in with my all-nighter setting spray. As for the lip color, I have 3 different lip colors today, and I think either one could really go with this look. These are the new Maybelline, what are these called? All right, so this is essentially the new line that they have a bunch of different colors that are supposed to work for multiple skin tones. So these are supposed to be like universal reds, nudes, that kind of thing. So I did pick up Red for Me. Ooh, that is pigmented. That is beautiful. Okay, I really like that red. All right, I picked up Spice for Me, which lately I've been really into like terracotta-y looking colors. Let's see. All right, that's pretty too. And then I picked up Mauve for Me, And now mauves are always tricky because on my skin tone, mauves come out less purpley pinky and more just straight up pink. So let's see. Ooh. So I think this mauve for me goes the best with this look. Alright, so this is the look that we're going to be rocking with today. Aside from my messed up wing liner, which I'm like, whatever. Aside from that, so far I really like everything that I put on. I think it looks really, really nice. The Maybelline color Sensational, I got on the Mauve for Me color, and it's very, very comfortable. Now mind you, I have really, really chapped lips, and I didn't even bother putting on a chapstick or a balm today. So for it to feel as nice and smooth as it feels, like these I like so far. I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts on everything at the end of the day, once we see how everything holds up. But right now I do like what I see. Okay guys, so I am back. It is now 7:48, and I know I didn't do a time check-in with you guys, but I did want to let you know I did like end everything at about 1:30. It was like 1:39 or something like that. And this is what my face is looking like, and in all honesty, this L'Oreal foundation. So let me do a quick rundown. All right, so first off, the Lippie didn't stay. The Maybelline lipstick didn't stay, which I didn't really think it was going to. But I do like the colors. I love the colors that I got, and I do like the way that they feel. Like they feel very soft, very moisturizing, and not sticky. Like it's like a soft situation. I really, 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 really like this foundation. I think my skin looks really good. I like this one better than the Maybelline Fit Me. I like this one better than the CoverGirl. Those are more of like a soft matte kind of situation. I think this, if I'm not mistaken, claimed to be like a soft matte natural finish. And honestly, like I really, really still at 6 hours in like the way my skin looks. Like I really, really enjoy my skin. So if you were thinking about trying this, I definitely would. The one thing that I was worried about was the NudeStix blush, only because it always like fades away a little bit, and I feel like it did it again today. Like I know you can see a little bit of the pink, but just in comparison to when I put it on, I feel like it fades away. Even right here, you can see my highlights still, you can see my contour still, but I feel like the actual blush just fades in. The other thing about this one is just touching the actual like balm part of it. It's really sticky, and I'm not a fan of that either. So this one was just not, this one wasn't it for me. We kind of already talked about this one. As you can see, like it's not really like a full coverage concealer, and I think with the Coty Airspun powder, it's just kind of like, I don't know if it's just me or it's just making my under eyes feel a little sunken in. I've tried this with other powders, and I do like this concealer. Again, the only part I don't like is this, because it just looks so gross when you have to keep putting that top back on. And then I'm not a fan of having to put this on my face. And then the clicky, you guys know I hate a clicky. A clicky anything is just not my favorite. But the actual concealer is good, which we talked about that already. And then the Coty Airspun, I like this, but it does have the slightest amount of sheen to it that I wasn't really ready for. And because of that, I think that's why I'm getting like this sunken in situation right here. It's not really a powder that gives you a little bit more coverage like the Huda Beauty powder or like the Dermablend powder, or you know what I mean. It's not something that's going to give you a little bit of extra help in this area. It is a powder that I would use to set the rest of my face makeup, like an overall just brush over. But I'm not mad at this, just I'm not a fan of it under my eyes. One thing that I really, really loved, these loose pigments from Colourpop. Like I told you guys that I already tried the twins in a separate look, so I knew I was gonna like that. But the goat is just like a very beautiful bronzy color that I love. I don't even think I have anything in my collection to compare them to, except it's almost like, you know, Colourpop's regular loose highlighters. They're very soft, they don't cling to any texture or anything. It doesn't get stuck in like any of your crevices. It's just very smooth. And in this look, aside from using the glitter glue for my lid, I didn't have to use any glitter glue on this side. It just kind of stuck. which I really love. As far as the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, I kind of talked about it already. I do like it. I do like a good sheen on a bronzer just because it has a lot of movement. Not a fan of the smell. I know a lot of people are, but it smells like fake coconut to me, and it irks me a little bit. But overall, I do like the color, and I do feel like if you're a little, I would say if you are a little bit deeper than my skin tone, you could still get away with this. And again, they have one other shade after this one that they came out with. So if you guys are interested in this and you are a deeper skin tone, I would try maybe this and that one, kind of swatch them and see which one you like more. I think that's everything except for this Lorac highlighter. I think I actually saw this first on Raw Beauty Kirsty's channel. She had a different color, and I just basically picked up the color that was right for my skin tone. But I really enjoy this highlighter and have been enjoying it. Aside from using it as a regular highlighter, I'll put it on my lid. It's just a very nice golden glow. Alright guys, that about does it for me. Hopefully this video was entertaining, informative, all that good stuff. If so, please go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if the mood suits you, and I will see you guys in the next one.